let's start by looking at what beliefs are and then how important they are. So my basic assumption is that a belief tends to be where it's an assumption, where we believe this is that or this follows that. But would you like to give a more detailed view, Anthony, on what you think beliefs are?
Yeah, sure. So, beliefs are these processes, or think of it like software
Yeah.
in your mind that has been laid out when through different agents. When you are born, your mother, your parents took you in, and then you think about how they raised you, and then you have cultural influences, then you have religion, and then you have friends, your society, your love experiences, your professional experiences, your previous bosses, your current bosses, the people you meet on the way. All these things create beliefs in us. And the reason they are formed is because either we want to survive in a system, yeah, we want to be accepted in a system, so we take on many of these beliefs. Now, it's good to have beliefs that empower you regardless of whether they are true or not. Yeah, as long as it's good for you and you're creating value out in the world and you're helping people, that's always good. When it gets dangerous is when it begins to hold you back, where you start putting these limitations on yourself for no particular reason. And the only thing standing between you and the massive growth that you can achieve are these limiting beliefs. And this session, we wanted to focus on identifying them and removing them. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. When I've been working with clients, I started off from working with state, but and I still work with state, but I've actually found sometimes beliefs are more effective at making quicker changes, and sometimes giving people habits or drills to use with beliefs have created really good change over time. Some specific examples I found are really interesting. Curious enough, in the short term, is to get people to rehearse beliefs for interviews, maybe for difficult meetings, and it's actually made in the short term a significant change. But also, as I said, by developing exercises for people to do, it's created significant changes over the long term. Stephen, I'm going to throw it back to you. Can you give some examples of some of the things that you've worked on with people beliefs and maybe some of the benefits they've got from it?
Sure. So, I had made a list of some of the beliefs that I've worked with people on,
Yeah.
and the most common ones are here. So I'll just kind of go through some of them with you,
Yeah.
and people might identify with them. Commonly, people believe I'm not good enough to get whatever I want. Yeah, the job, the girl, the boy, whatever it may be. They also believe I'm not lucky enough. Success is only for lucky people, and my fate is predetermined.
Yeah.
So no matter how hard I try, I cannot go beyond a certain level. Yeah. Other ones include I cannot do well in life because I'm not smart enough. I'm not good looking enough. I didn't grow up in the right culture. I didn't have the right leadership training me. I didn't have the right kind of mentors. I didn't have the right parents. I didn't have a father figure, and various reasons. Yeah. And these really hold people back, regardless of whether they are true or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And I remember when I first came across this, I actually found this. I found it quite hard to believe the importance sometimes of changing beliefs, because when I was sort of younger, I tended to believe things were either true or they were untrue. And when somebody came to me and say, well, a belief can be useful or not, it made no sense to me at all. And it's taken quite a lot of time for this to sort of almost rewire my own brain to find out how useful this is. So I now have this view, as I say, some things are true. Well, sorry, I'm assuming they're true. If I jump out an airplane without a parachute, I think that's a useful belief that I won't last very long. So there are beliefs that are not in, they're stopping me learning to fly, but they're actually very useful to me. but there is this concept of we may not know whether things are true or not, but actually believing it will affect our performance and will affect the results we achieve. And it took me quite a long time to get this concept. But as I say, as I've been working with people over time, I found it now makes a lot of difference. The other point,
Absolutely, because I can perfectly understand as well. When I was practicing in medicine and psychiatry,
yeah,
the set of skills that I actually needed were different.
right,
And once I went into the private sector, where I started working in medical affairs and I built a career there in the private sector. When I started there, it was corporate. And people said, well, your background is in medicine. Are you going to
mm,
survive in the private sector? And I held some of those beliefs for at least 2 to 3 years. And it kind of held me back. And there was so much turmoil and, this
mm,
resistance or this turbulence, for that would be a better word. And it's really interesting until I got to see it face to face. And I thought, oh, okay, actually, this is a limiting belief that is holding me back.
mm,
And once you said that right, then things just start to align.